Hello one and all, my name is Rio and welcome to another matchday preview. Tomorrow night, Cheshire FC entertain Tranmere Rovers at home in the Cheshire Senior Cup quarter-final, where the winning team will play Hyde United at home in the semi-final. So, as you all may know, sadly our home match against Gateshead was called off on Saturday, so we do have more rest ahead of tomorrow's game, although I do expect us to play quite a weaker team because we have a massive game on Saturday at Bradford Park Avenue AFC. Also, I do expect Tranmere to play a reserve side as well, so it will be rather interesting to see how tomorrow's match will bode. So, of course, I do hope you enjoyed today's matchday preview. If so, make sure to like, subscribe and comment down your score forecast below. So, without further ado, let's get into today's matchday preview right now. Enjoy! A nice blend of youth and senior players has sort of progressed to the last stage so far, as we have sort of Runcorn Town away and of course Stockport Town at home back in January, so I do expect us to take a similar approach tomorrow night ahead of Saturday's crucial make or break game in West Yorkshire. So you just look at the likes of Jamie Morgan and Gary Stopforth, who have missed a chunk of game time lately, so in my opinion I do expect the likes of them to play a part in tomorrow's game so that they can get some valuable game time and of course minutes, as they have missed a lot of matches lately, so hopefully they can get their confidence back up and of course their mojo. So in general, the Cheshire Senior Cup doesn't really bode too much significance for bigger clubs like ourselves and of course Tranmere Rovers, who we do play tomorrow, so I don't think it will be the best of games. However, it would be nice to get that winning feeling back because of course our last match was a few weeks ago on Saturday, where we lost 3-2 at home against Brackley Town, which was a major dint in our promotion hopes, so we do need to get back to winning ways ASAP, otherwise we will continue to slip away. And at this stage of the season now, we are in March, where we do need to pick up our form. We failed to get going in the first half, as we never shown up at all, and in both midfield and defence our distribution was all over the place, as we were so slow, lazy, sloppy and sluggish. So it came to no real surprise to see Brackley Town make it 1-0 because their goal was coming, and Russ Griffiths was at fault for all three of their goals, as he made three really woeful mistakes. So for Brackley Town's first goal, he parried the ball out and all Dan Holman had to do was stab home the rebound before half-time. To be fair, the second half was a little bit better by us, as we came out as a better team, and for the first 20 minutes of the half we were so much better. So to be fair, we deservedly got back onto level terms, as James Jones scored a really good goal from a corner for us to make it 1-1, as the corner by John Johnston went in and James Jones was at the right place at the right time to score his third goal in a month, which isn't too bad for a centre half. However, we weren't on level terms for long, because at the other end there was another goal from a corner, as Brackley Town made it 2-1. So again, a woeful defensive goal to concede, because the corner ball went in on the left hand side and all Thierry Ordell had to do was just simply plant the ball home, because he had loads of space, no one was marking him, so basically it was just a free header. And what Russ should have done is either instructed his defence to just boot the ball away, or also he should have simply caught or claimed the ball himself, because he is so hesitant. So Brackley Town made it 2-1. With only 10 minutes left on the clock, we got our second equaliser of the game, as substitute Danny Liverty scored a really good goal for us to make it 2-2. So the free kick by Russ Griffiths went downfield, and to be fair to him, I thought he had a shocking game, but he actually got an assist, because the free kick by him went down, assisted by the wind, and Danny Liverty looped a header over for us to make it 2-2. So thanks to the wind and to Russ, Danny Liverty scored a really good equaliser for us. However, that wasn't that, because for the second consecutive home game there was injury time drama. Sadly though, it was for all of the wrong reasons, because of course a few days before that we beat Kings Lynn Town 3-2 in injury time. However, against Brackley we lost 3-2 in injury time, as again a shocking goal to concede, because there was a miscommunication between Matty Waters and Griffiths, because Matty did really well to shield the ball out. However, Russ came off his line far too late, and all Matt Lowe had to do for Brackley Town was simply stick his leg out to bundle the ball over the line to make it 3-2. So a simply horrific way to end a really poor game. So all of the goals will be coming up later on in today's matchday preview. What a shocking goal to concede. I have got 7 pieces of Cheshire FC Blues news to get through today. So, first of all, on Friday at 7 o'clock, Cheshire FC's home match against Gateshead, which was set to be played at 3 o'clock on Saturday, was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. So I do think it was the right decision, because it was nice and sensible to call the match off nice and early to save Gateshead from travelling all the way down here on Saturday for further disappointments. So a new date is yet to be sorted, but stay tuned on my YouTube channel where I will announce it when it is all done and dusted. So stay tuned for further updates. Next, last Tuesday, a date was finally arranged for Cheshire FC's home match against Tranmere Rovers in the Cheshire Senior Cup quarter-final. So it was announced that it will now take place on Tuesday the 3rd of March at 7:45, which of course is tomorrow night. So I was supposed to be saying this on Friday for my Gateshead matchday preview. However, it got called off, so of course I have now got to say it today instead for confirmation. Last Wednesday, it was the Cheshire Senior Cup semi-final draw, so either Cheshire FC or Tranmere Rovers will play Hyde United at home in the Cheshire Senior Cup semi-final. So, on the Cheshire FA website, it does state that the tie will take place on Saturday the 7th of March at 7:45, although we do play Bradford Park Avenue AFC away that day in the league, so I am sure a new date will be announced ASAP. So basically, whoever wins tomorrow night will play Hyde United at home in the semi-final. On Wednesday, it was announced that Cheshire FC's away match at Alfreton Town has been rearranged for Tuesday the 24th of March at 7:45, because the initial match back on Saturday the 15th of February was called off for a health and safety issue. So just for confirmation, Cheshire FC's away match at Alfreton Town has been rearranged for Tuesday the 24th of March at 7:45, so I will be going and I cannot wait. See you there. Let's talk about transfers. So, first of all, on Friday, Cheshire FC signed goalkeeper Louis Gray from Carlisle United on an initial 28-day long loan with a 24-hour recall clause included as well. So, I do believe this is a sensible move by Bernard's Johnno, because Russ Griffiths has made far too many mistakes lately, which has affected his confidence. So, although Louis hasn't really made too many appearances in his career so far, this should be a really good short-term option for us. So, welcome to Cheshire FC, Louis, and I cannot wait to see you make your debut for us very, very soon. So, all the very best, Louis Gray. Meanwhile, last Tuesday, it was announced that right back Kevin Roberts extended his stay here at Chester FC for 18 months after triggering a clause in his deal, because against Brackley Town the following Saturday he played his 30th match of the season for us since rejoining us back in the summer, which has automatically enabled him to extend his deal here. So, in my opinion, Kevin has been one of our most consistent players this season, as he has always been committed, which was put to the test when he put his crown jewels on the line to preserve our 1-0 lead at Guiseley back in January, which was a really important clean sheet and of course result. So Kevin doesn't really get spoken about too much, so in my opinion I do believe Kev is one of our biggest unsung heroes, which can only be a good thing. So all the best Kev, and I cannot wait to see you in a Chester FC shirt for the next 18 months. My final piece of Blues news for today is that prior to our home match against Brackley Town a week on Saturday ago, Chester FC's new home shirt for 2020 until 2022 was announced. So, Shirt A won with 37% of the votes by City Fans United members being Shirt A. So, I personally voted for Shirt E, although Shirt A was my second choice, so I will settle for it. So, I do think it is quite a nice, tidy design, although it looks rather similar to our home shirts from 2016 to 2018, so a change would have been nice, although I am looking forward to buying our new home shirt soon, which is under our new manufacturer's capper. So, on the basis of our away shirt, the entries have already been closed, so the judging process is now well and truly underway, and our new away shirts for 2020 until 2022 will be announced before our home match against Boston United, so stay tuned for further updates. Tranmere Rovers play in Sky Bet League One and will be making the venture from Merseyside, having had a very difficult season so far. The Whites look destined for relegation back to Sky Bet League 2 as they sit 7 points behind Rochdale, and a shocking playing surface certainly hasn't helped them either. Manager Mickey Mellon did a superb job in guiding Tranmere to back-to-back promotions from the National League back to Sky Bet League One, although this time out League One has proved to be a bridge too far, as Tranmere should be doing a lot better. So I think Mickey Mellon should go if he keeps it going, because I think although he did a fantastic job 1 or 2 years ago, I think League One has been really tough for Tranmere, and they certainly do look like getting another relegation back to Sky Bet League 2. We have met Tranmere Rovers 9 times before since reformation, and in general we have quite a dismal record against them, so hopefully things will change tomorrow night. So, our last match against Tranmere Rovers was back on Saturday the 7th of April 2018, which was a miserable 2-0 home defeat. So that was a really depressing day for Chester Football Club, as we got relegated to the National League North in our own backyard against our local rivals, and also to make it even worse, Tranmere had about half of the overall attendance as well, so what a massive day to forget for us. So both of the goals will be coming up right now, and hopefully there will be a lot more to cheer tomorrow night, as we don't want to experience anything like that ever again at the 1885 Arena.
Corner taken short by Jeff Hughes to Ben Tollett, laid back out towards Jeff Hughes, who will loft it in towards the back post where Andy Cook's arriving. Cook with the header, and Cook with the goal, and it is that perfect tonic just before half-time. The timing is everything. The Chester fans are unhappy, the Rovers fans delighted. That's what you get on Derby Day, right on half-time, Andy Cook with a looping, lofting header into the far corner. Goalkeeper rooted. The flag stays down. Norwood round the goalkeeper for 2. Norwood makes it 2. And there's a bye-bye from Norwood as well. Keep your chins up, he says, and waves bye-bye. Tranmere 2, Chester 0. And it's Norwood and Cook again at the double.
Our last match was a week on Saturday ago as we fell to a miserable 3-2 home defeat against Brackley Town in what was a really dire game, and of course a Niagara affair as well. So the first half was really poor to watch by us, as we failed to get going, and in both midfield and defence we were so lazy and poor, and we made some really woeful mistakes. So it came to no real surprise to see Brackley Town make it 1-0 10 minutes before half-time, as Russ Griffiths made the first of 3 really poor errors, which was the main theme of the afternoon, as Dan Holman scored a simple tap-in as following a parry by Russ to make it 1-0 to Brackley Town. To be fair, the second period was a little bit more better than us, as we came out as a better team, and it was a lot more lively because for the opening 20 minutes of the half we were on top, and we deservedly got an equaliser as James Jones scored a good goal for us to make it 1-0, to get his 3rd goal in a matter of weeks, as the corner ball by John Johnston went in and James Jones simply smashed home. However, there was another goal from a set piece, and it was a poor one at the other end in front of the Harry Mack, as Brackley Town made it 2-1 to retake the lead for the second time, as all Thierry O'Dell had to do was score a simple 3-header past our defence and Russ to make it 2-1. We got back onto level terms once again with only 10 minutes left, as Danny Livesey scored a good goal for us to make it 2-2. So the ball by Russ Griffiths went downfield and aptly helped out by the wind. It took a massive help by the wind, as the wind guided the ball in off Danny Livesey's head, so thankfully the ball looped in for us to make it 2-2. So just as we thought, we salvaged the draw. Worse was to come, as deep into added time in the 93rd minute, Brackley Town made it 3-2 to snatch the game, as a terrible miscommunication between Russ and Matty Waters eventually saw Matt Lowe poke home for Brackley Town to make it 3-2, so a simply diabolical way to end a really poor spectacle. So hopefully we have worked on our communication since then, and hopefully we can improve tomorrow night. So all 5 goals of the game will be coming up right now. Brace yourselves. Here is our latest form, which is horrific, as we have lost 3 of our last 5 games, which is simply unacceptable. So, our first match was back on Tuesday the 28th of January, as we lost 2-0 away at Gateshead on a miserable, cold Tuesday night up in the northeast. The following Saturday, things didn't get much better for us, as we began February in the worst possible way, as we lost 4-2 away at York City. 7 days later though, we got a much needed morale boosting win, as we beat lowly Blythe Spartans 2-1 at home. 10 days later, we got a second consecutive win, as we beat top of the table Kings Lynn Town 3-2 at home in the last minute to spark absolute carnage. However, we fell back down to earth a week on Saturday ago, as we lost 3-2 at home against Brackley Town, so a massive improvement is needed tomorrow, and of course on Saturday at Bradford Park Avenue AFC in what will be our next league game. Here is Tranmere Rovers' latest form, which is rather average, as they have won 2, lost 2 and drew 1, which isn't too bad considering they are third from bottom. So first of all, back on Saturday the 8th of February, Tranmere lost 2-0 at home against Portsmouth. A few days later, Tranmere got a 0-0 draw at home against Bristol Rovers on the following Tuesday. 7 days later, on the following Tuesday, Tranmere beat Crewe Alexandra 1-0 away in the Cheshire Senior Cup second round, which is why we do play Tranmere tomorrow rather than Crewe. The following Saturday though, Tranmere fell back down to earth with a second defeat in 4, as they lost 3-1 away at Wycombe Wanderers, who are one of the best teams in League One. Last Tuesday though, Tranmere got a massive 3-2 away win at Shrewsbury Town, which was a fantastic win for them, similar to us against Kings Lynn, as Tranmere won the game in the last minute. So, at half-time, Tranmere were 2-0 up. However, in the second half, Tranmere bottled it as Shrewsbury scored 2 goals to equalise. In added time though, Tranmere got a late winner to make it 3-2 to effectively, keep their season alive. So Tranmere did have a glimmer of hope last Tuesday, although since then they are now 7 points adrift, so it will be quite a uphill battle for them. But who knows, maybe anything could happen, and if Tranmere keep on replicating results like Shrewsbury, then maybe they could have a chance of staying up if they keep it going. Tranmere Rovers' key player for me for tomorrow is Morgan FERRIER, who is a striker, so I highly doubt he will play, but who just knows. So, back in 2012, he started off his career at Nottingham Forest, where he had a loan spell at Kettering Town. A year later, in 2013, Morgan left Nottingham on a permanent deal to sign for Crewe Wanderers. In 2014, he signed for Crystal Palace, where a year later he signed for Bishop Stortford. In 2016, Morgan signed for Hemel Hempstead Town, where later on that year he signed for fellow Hertfordshire side Boreham Wood for his first spell there. In 2017, Morgan signed for fellow National League club Dagenham and Redbridge, where later on that year he re-signed for Boreham Wood for the second time in 2018. Later on in 2018, he moved into the Football League to sign for Walsall, and finally, back in 2019, so just a few months ago before the start of this season, Morgan signed for Tranmere Rovers, where he has scored quite a few goals for them this season, so he is quite a prolific striker for Tranmere. So although he might not play tomorrow, you just don't know, and if he does, then he will be one of Tranmere's key goal threats. My score forecast for tomorrow's game is Cheshire FC 2, Tranmere Rovers 1. So For Chester, I think Matty Hughes and Jamie Morgan will score for us, and for Tranmere, I think Bailey Thompson will score for them. So as I say, I know I do expect us to win 2-1 for some reason, but I do think Tranmere will pretty much play their second team, and I think we will play a mixture. So I think some of our senior players such as Jamie and Matty will play, which is why I do think we will just about edge it. And yeah, for Tranmere, I got one of their younger players down to score, so I think it will be quite an interesting game. Of course, I will be going to the 1885 Arena tomorrow night, so stay tuned for my matchday vlog, which will be out after the match. So, of course, I do hope you enjoyed today's matchday preview. If so, make sure to like, subscribe and comment down your score forecast below. So it will be, hopefully be quite nice to see us get back to winning ways ahead of Saturday's crucial game. Come on, you Blues!
Reflects on them a while.